All right. In three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to episode 221 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Dee Jonay.
Hey.
What's going on, friend?
Oh, nothing much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You sounded a little like you might
Um,
be on the pre-wash side tonight.
well, I did go to the bar first.
Oh,
Yeah. It was only two though. I've been good.
Tipsy Dee is the
Cause you
bestie.
know, cause you know I'm still on fake ass keto, so I don't drink as much as I used to.
Oh, okay.
That's my brand. I call it fake ass keto. Cause I'm doing
It's
it, but not quite.
not committed all the way.
Listen, in real ass keto, I can't have liquor because liquor has carbs. So
Right.
no, fake will have to do.
Yeah, Stone Cold was telling a story about he was doing keto and how he had, basically stopped drinking and everything to do it all the way.
Hmm.
And then he told a story about how one time he had a joint and he smoked it or whatever. And he was like, it's really not for him, but somebody in England listened to it and wrote a story about how he stopped drinking and now he started to smoke weed.
Right.
So that was pretty funny. This is the WrassleCast. You can find us on the web at cspn.us. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and you can also subscribe to the CSPN YouTube page and listen to the show on YouTube as well. So, Miss Dee Chane, we're going to forego the news segment this week because it
Hmm.
is Royal Rumble weekend. So that means we get to play Who You Got?
Yay.
Dun, 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 dun.
So many games. Yay.
So, the Royal Rumble coming to us from Phoenix, Arizona. It's a Sunday night, 7 p.m. The hashtag for the live tweet will be the RumbleCast. So please use the hashtag RumbleCast to share your commentary with color with the fans and hosts of the WrassleCast. All right, Miss Dee Chane, we're
Hmm.
going to have our 2 hour pre show. So
You're
you
the
say,
what?
hell no, the pre shows this for this event.
2 hours?
Yes, ma'am. 2 hours for a pre show. Pre
Won't
show
be.
is going to
I
start
won't
at
be
5.
there. Oh hell no! It's still light outside at 5 o'clock. I'm not watching that. Y'all have to tell me how it goes.
So our two pre-show matches are going to be a four-way for the Cruiserweight Championship. We're going to have the champion, Buddy Murphy, facing off against Akira Tozawa, Kalisto, and Hideo Itami.
Question:
Yes, ma'am.
if it's only two pre-show matches, why is it 2 hours?
Because they have to explain all the possibilities of who could win the two Royal Rumble matches, which will be an hour each, probably.
This is why nobody likes the WWE.
Do you think you got a winner for the Buddy Murphy?
Oh, who did you say? Not Akira Tozawa. No, not Kalisto. I'll stick with Buddy Murphy.
All right, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna do champ retains as well. I don't feel like they've built up a contender big enough. 205 really needs to hype up. They get their own pay per view,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and where they concentrate on some storylines, they could end up in a pay per view because they need to draw some attention to that show.
Yeah.
And they moved it back to Tuesday nights,
You
so
think that's good or
that's probably bad.
oh
Because
bad? Okay.
yeah, because what was happening was it's going to be after SmackDown again. So
Mm.
what was happening was they were doing it before SmackDown before because they could tape it
Yeah.
and people were, more into it. But I don't know.
Mm. Interesting.
Next pre-show match, United States Championship match, Rusev Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm,
I'll start this one off.
okay.
Uh, I'm gonna go with Rusev. I think Rusev is gonna win the title. I think he's due.
Uh, I thought he had the title.
No, Nakamura has the title, man.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know
You
why I
wouldn't
thought.
know that because they're
I truly thought Rusev had the title, and I was like, well, they're not gonna give it back to Shinsuke. Okay, okay, then yeah. I have Rusev.
okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of two things that link the cruiserweight division and Rusev Day together, they
Mm.
put eight English on commentary for 205 Live.
He's probably really good at it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to be a wrestler anymore, though.
I mean, nobody cared.
We cared when he was with Rusev. He made Rusev hot again.
I mean, Rusev Day was flames, but you know, you know,
Okay.
uh, I could take him or leave him as a wrestler. I enjoyed him, but it's not disappointing to me. Or
Okay.
let me say, it could be worse. You know.
Yeah, this role might suit him better. I mean, anything on TV is better than eating all the cheese at catering.
You know, he got a job. He's on the screen. Eddie Guerrero's daughter is happy. It's great. Everybody's happy.
There you go. We have The Bar versus The Miz and Shane McMahon
Hmm.
for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Miss Dee Janae, who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Miz and Shane O'Mac. Although Shane hasn't won a lot of his matches lately, and maybe he's due. So yeah.
I'm gonna go with The Bar. I think they're gonna retain this. Next up, getting to the good stuff. Asuka versus the man, Becky Lynch, for the SmackDown
Oh.
Women's title. Oh, see, this is interesting. Mm,
I'm gonna go. Uh, mm, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Becky, even though she might lose. And if she loses, of course she'll be in the Royal Rumble. But I'm gonna go Becky.
okay, I'm gonna go Asuka because that's what I'm thinking. That it would be a bigger impact for her to lose and then be in the Royal Rumble and kick a lot of ass.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, our next women's championship match. This time for the Raw Women's title. Ronda Rousey versus the Boss, Sasha Banks.
Um, Ronda Rousey is on John Cena protocol, which means I'm never picking her ever. So the answer is Sasha. Not that I think Sasha's going to win, because I don't, but I'm still not picking her.
Well, for the sake of there needs to be a winner in this game, I'm gonna pick Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Head, not heart.
Listen, I understand, but no.
You're the exact opposite. Heart, not head.
It's like head, but I don't want to. So hard.
Right.
Because there are some people who be like, no, maybe Sasha will win. I actually don't think she's going to win, but it's principalities involved. And I'm not picking Ronda.
I
Not with
just
that
hope Ronda
eyeshadow she
doesn't.
got going on.
I just hope Ronda doesn't like jerk something out of socket when
Mm,
she like tries to throw her around or something.
mm.
You know she's fragile.
Yeah. She got a mean streak, so hopefully she'll just kick her in the shin or something. Step on some fingers. Treat her like she treated Bailey before she went to the main roster. You know, I remember.
The new Daniel Bryan faces off against the real AJ Styles for the WWE title.
Mm.
Miss T. Shanae, who you got?
AJ Styles is also in the John Cena protocol. So I have Daniel Bryan.
I got Daniel Bryan as well.
Yay, we agree.
Next, for the Universal Championship,
Mm.
Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor.
You want me to go first?
Of course.
Okay, Brock Lesnar is also on the John Cena protocol. And I'm not picking him either. So Finn Balor it is.
John Cena protocols getting a workout here.
Listen, even when he's not around, he's around.
um,
I got a
yeah,
question.
got to go with Brock on this one as well.
I,
For a second there, I wanted to say Finn, but nah.
that's okay. You don't have to have faith. I have a question.
Yes, man.
Is it that Braun just hadn't recovered yet? Is that what it was?
I,
From his
I'm,
from his
I'm,
elbow?
yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have, I haven't heard. Well, I heard that it's all supposed to be. I don't want to give any spoilers out, so I won't say that. But yeah, I heard this was supposed to be the direction. I don't know why they keep pushing it off. Like, okay, if it's not WrestleMania, then when is it gonna be?
Right. Okay, yeah. I got Finn. I got Finn.
All right, I'm gonna pick Brock for the record, so we both have our picks down officially. Now it's time for the women's Royal Rumble pick.
Okay, we're gonna do it like we did it last year and years before. You pick a number for 5 bonus points, and you pick a person for your regular point. We'll give you plus or minus 2 spots. So if you pick 23 and it's 25, congratulations, you get points. I
It's such,
think that's fair.
you're great on such a generous curve. I appreciate you.
I try to make it interesting. All these who you got to be about, plus or minus one good match. Although we seem to not be on one accord today, so maybe this won't be like that. But still, let's make it interesting.
All right, so let me pick first this time.
Mm-hmm.
Women's Royal Rumble. Okay, I'll pick my number first.
Mm-hmm.
I think the winner is going to be
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, number 22. I
Mm.
see.
Okay.
And for my individual who is going to win the Royal Rumble,
Mm.
I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. I'm going to say number 27 because that was the number in my spirit. And I am going to say that the person who wins the Royal Rumble, I'm going to just say Becky Lynch. I don't know. Why not?
That would be a popular choice. The roof would definitely blow off the place.
I mean, you can make a case for a lot of people. I don't think it'll be Naomi. I think she's just gonna have a really nice spot where she beats the shit out of Mandy or Sonya or both. But if I'm looking long term, and I don't like to do that because I'm kayfabe for life, I can only see it being Becky or Charlotte realistically. So Becky it is because Becky is more interesting of a choice.
Then the main event of the evening is the men's Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Didi Jonay, your turn to start off.
I'll go with a number. The numbers for men are usually higher, but so let's say 19. Although that feels low, I'm gonna go at 19, and I'm gonna say that the winner. I was going to say Braun Strowman in a shock. But no, I'm gonna say, oh, who? What? Like Seth Rollins?
Okay, good choice.
I don't know. I'm not confident in it, but okay.
I'm going to tell you that you were just all up in renting space, all up in my mind. Because I was going to say number 18, but for the sake of this game, I'm going to say number 17. And the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to be Drew McIntyre.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
you took my first choice.
You were gonna say Seth or Braun? Seth.
I was going to say Seth.
I mean, you still can, but that's not fun.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's not fun.
yeah,
We're in the entertainment business, Miss T.
yeah, yeah.
So that's who you got. I'll put the poll up for the Twitter account, and you guys can vote on Twitter over the weekend throughout the time that you listen through this up until the pre-show comes on, and we'll see who everybody thinks is going to win. I don't know. I'll just probably just put out a blanket statement, put out three favorites in the field and see who people think are going to win the Royal Rumble matches. So should be fun. The Royal Rumble, the hashtag again will be WrassleCast. That will be Sunday night starting at 7 p.m. Please join us. Give us your feedback and commentary with color. We will be holding a instant feedback podcast. So look out within the hashtag. I'll probably be asking for some email addresses, or I'll send out the link to the hangout. So if anybody wants to join that, you guys can join that. We'll just be talking for 30, 45 minutes about the event, what happened, surprises, who won, who lost, how it was booked, what we thought about it. So should be fun. Should be something interesting and something for the people over on Patreon. They'll get a exclusive feedback episode, and they won't have to wait until the new WrassleCast comes out on Friday. So not on Patreon, maybe that's some incentive to get on Patreon to hear something cool like that. So Miss Steely's your name. We'll
Mm.
transition over to Monday Night Raw from Oklahoma City.
Hmm.
Start out after, it was Martin Luther King Day observed. So we had the video package that the WWE does.
Mm.
Brock and Paul Heyman, they're making their way to the ring. Paul runs through his spiel. Then he dives into this matter at hand. He says Finn Balor pinning John Cena last week to earn the Universal Championship opportunity. He said he sees the moment, and now everybody believes in Finn Balor. Paul says he does too, and he puts over the fact that Brock has been training for Braun, a completely different type of opponent than Finn. And he said that Balor's voice matters, but Heyman's voice martyrs. He says Brock will turn Finn into a martyr on Sunday, and he says that he'll be sacrificed for the sins of making us believe. Heyman spoiler alert for this week: even miracles fear Brock Lesnar. He said on Sunday Finn will be flat on his back, and he will say he believes in Brock Lesnar. Mr. McMahon comes down to the ring. He says he doesn't buy into this whole Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar thing. And he says you can only believe in it if you believe in David versus Goliath. Vince retells the story of David and Goliath a little bit different than it actually is. And he suggests that the people in Oak City believe in fairy tales. Then Braun Strowman comes down, cuts all that off. He gets on the apron, he stares Brock down. Vince asks Braun what he's doing, and Braun's mad because Baron Corbin caused the worst night of his life and the luckiest night of Brock's life. He promises, Braun does, to face Brock down the road, and then here comes Finn to point out that it's the same old Monday Night Raw with Braun doing Braun things. Vince doesn't believe in fairy tales, but Finn and the Balor Club do. Then we get some testiness between Finn and Braun. Finn retells the David versus Goliath story, the real story, and Vince decides that now would be a good time for a real life David versus Goliath story, and he books a match between Finn and Braun next, and he wants Brock to be at ringside. So we get our first match: Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman. So Miss Didi Janae,
Mm.
how do you feel about two of your faves facing off in this segment?
I
Open.
mean, David and Goliath are adorable, but I don't want them to fight. Like, I would rather they be in a tag team or some shenanigan like that. Like, I don't know. They're just so adorable. Why must they fight? Remember when Braun was like, fuck you, you're cool. And
Right.
Finn was the one who was cool. And it's just like, let them be friends.
Finn goes up top, but Braun tosses him into Brock, who then suplexes Finn on the floor. Then we get a stare down between Braun and Brock, and that's interrupted when Finn Balor attacks, and he does his big dive on the both men on the floor. Then Balor takes turns landing big moves on both men, and he manages to avoid a Braun smash in the corner. He goes up top, then he hits the coup de grace to Braun. But he forgot all about Brock, who comes in from the blind side to get him with the F5, and Braun gets disqualified. Finn Balor gets the win.
Boo.
At least Brock actually did something this week.
I mean, but I don't want him to do anything. What I want him to do is go away.
Soon, maybe soon.
Yes, bless, bless. I have faith.
It's time for the almighty Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush to come out. Lio says that Lashley is better than Rollins, Ambrose, and everybody in that locker room. He says that Bobby Lashley is a professional fighter. He says, and Bobby doesn't do it for the fun, but he does it for the money.
Oh, like Brock Lesnar. So original.
He said they've come to celebrate, and Lashley's idea of celebrating is posing on the podium.
On MLK Day.
So Apollo Crews makes his way to the ring. Apollo Crews wants a match. Leo says, let's have a pose off.
On MLK Day.
If he gets the pose off, he'll get a title match.
On MLK Day.
We get a pose off, and this ends up with Leo Rush being tossed on the Bobby Lashley on the floor by Apollo Crews. We get the match, Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. Crews ties to military press Bobby Lashley. First one doesn't work out so good, but the second one does. We get an enziguri that leads to Leo getting in the ring. Leo gets military pressed, which leads to Apollo Crews getting speared for the 3 count by Bobby Lashley.
On MLK Day. I'm still not over it. Like, out of all the days. But, okay.
Seth Rollins comes out right before, like right as Bobby Lashley's match ends. He comes out, and they kind of have a stare down as they're passing through. Then we return from the commercial. Seth Rollins lays down some knowledge on Martin Luther King. Then we get a recap of his last few months. He promises to win the Royal Rumble and makes a pretty good case for himself. Drew McIntyre promises to kick Seth's head off tonight and takes exception to Seth lying to the people. Drew argues that Seth's crazy flying around style will get him eliminated and says that he has the same level of passion. He hopes they're the final 2, and so he can eliminate Seth, win the Royal Rumble, and go to WrestleMania. So we have our match, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Claymore kick is countered with the super kick for a near fall. Drew is into turnbuckles with Seth on his back, and then he hits the Kryptonite Crunch, but only for a 2 count. We get the sit-out powerbomb by Drew. That gets a 2 count. And then it's followed up by a schoolboy from Seth Rollins, and he stuns Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins gets the win. Didi, your thoughts on Seth Rollins defeating Drew McIntyre? Our 2 choices here for winners of the Royal Rumble.
Drew's a scary, scary guy. But Seth's just a wrestler.
this was a good match, even without like a proper build and story and everything.
Yeah.
If they had some real reason, like a true reason to wrestle each other over and over again, that would be pretty good to see.
Hmm. Absolutely.
The revival, fresh off, everybody's talking about them asking for their release. They take their complaints to Mr. McMahon and ask for one more title match with a special guest referee. Kurt Hawkins shows up around the same time requesting a match, and Vince decides that Kurt Hawkins, since he's such a loser as a wrestler, can be the special guest referee. Dean Ambrose points out the fact that he isn't the IC champion is an injustice. He calls Lashley bend over Bobby. Dean then says the Royal Rumble will be his shining moment and his miracle on ice, and justice will be served. The Lucha House Party versus Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Grand Metalik tags in. He does some flips. He hits a backbreaker, and the Lucha House Party gets the win. Nothing to see here. EC3 posing in a mirror. Dana Brooke says he looks great and tries to get information on his fitness methods.
But EC3 is a mute, so he doesn't actually speak. He just gestures a lot.
Yeah. Elias walks by in the background. Come back from the commercial. Elias has written a song. He's in the ring. Baron Corbin is out here because, of course, he hates music. Corbin tries to book himself into a match with Elias, but Elias points out that he can't do that anymore. They cut Baron Corbin's mic, and Elias sings his song. Our matchup is Baron Corbin versus Elias. Corbin gains advantage when he powers Elias to the ring post with his foot. We get a knee to the jaw, and that changes things. Then a swinging neck breaker from Elias gets a 2 count. We get a blow to the throat, followed by the end of days, and Baron Corbin gets the win. It's time for Baron Corbin to invest in some new gear.
Yeah, I would say corporate Corbin isn't a thing, and he really does look like a bartender at like a Williamsburg speakeasy bullshit ass place.
He looks like the bar back at a place.
Like he actually all he needs is suspenders, and he could work at Truxton in DC. That's exactly what they look like, except they have like really nice beards. But other than that, they look exactly the same. They make whiskey drinks.
That sounds like a place that you definitely are a fan of.
Big fan, big fan.
I'm a big fan of this.
Mm.
Alexa Bliss is here to explain that the Women's Royal Rumble, the rules, and name the participants. She introduces her guest, Nia Jax. We get one question into the interview before Ember Moon comes out. She wasn't invited, but she's tired of sitting in the locker room and waiting for an invitation. Alicia Fox comes out, then Mickey James and the Riot Squad, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Tamina. You know the drill. Alexa's outraged that they would ruin her reputation as a legitimate talk show host. You tell them, Bliss. They go ahead and they start a big brawl that spills backstage. While they're all backstage, Alexa takes the time to announce that she will be competing in this year's Royal Rumble match. Cue the applause in the background. So Lacey Evans then appears to just ruin it all.
In her olive green outfit.
Lacey Evans denounces the nasty, classless little girls. She calls Alexa a sawed-off little runt and says the winner of the Royal Rumble will be a classy, sophisticated lady.
That's doubtful.
Lacey Evans is quickly going to go into All Lives Orton territory real quick.
Oh, she's really close. She's got one thing to say about somebody Latino, and it's going to be over for her.
Titus O'Neil, he announces that he's entering the Royal Rumble. Hopefully he has a better walk to the ring than he did the last time he was in a Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah, he has to redeem himself, which means he's probably going to get in and then get kicked right back out. Because you know how the WWE is.
Yeah, somebody got to be the comedy. The Ascension, they're facing off against Heavy Machinery. Speaking of the comedy, Otis does a dancing elbow drop. Then he does the caterpillar into an elbow drop. They hit the trash compactor and Heavy Machinery. They get the win on their debut match on Raw. Miss Didi Jonay, did you get the chance to see this?
Um, I was watching, but I didn't see it. I don't remember what I was doing.
You didn't get a chance to see little Otis in the ring?
No, actually, I did. He's the big one, right?
Yeah, looks like a one of those little deep freezers that your grandma might have in her house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They said he was like 5'10" and 320. Yeah, 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 I saw it. Why don't I remember it? But yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, he's Otis. Otis is a star.
the
Yeah, Otis is a star.
Well, everybody ain't able. Hmm?
This is true. There's a
Somebody's got to be the Michelle to the Beyonce.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, there's one in every team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of teams, it's Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships with Kurt Hawkins as the referee. So, Miss Dijonay, did your opinion of Kurt Hawkins change in the referee uniform? I know women tend to like men when they dress up in uniforms.
What kind of uniform?
He was the referee.
Oh, that uniform. You know what? I happen to know because of Total Divas that he had another child recently. So I'm very happy that he had a check coming
Uh,
in.
yes, for
That's
sure.
important.
Always.
Cause he's like Heath got kids.
Right. Got and yeah, once they have kids, they become off your creep cast radar. I didn't know he had kids. Sorry.
It's
Uh,
not that he has kids; it's that he's married. That's what gets you off the list.
Gotcha. Thanks for
Yeah.
clarifying.
Mm-hmm. I don't care about your kids. That sounds awful, but yeah, I don't.
In the most positive way, she means that.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Revival tries the WrestleMania 5 finish, which is basically they grab the leg when I think it was Chad Gable was attempting a body slam, and Chad Gable kicks out. Then they try to put the feet on the ropes and get a pin. That doesn't work. Then they also try grabbing onto Gable's tights. That doesn't work. Then Dawson pushes the referee. Then they try to do the whole hands on the sunset flip. None of these cheating attempts work. Chad Gable gets to roll up. He gets the 3 count. Then the Revival attack Kurt Hawkins afterwards, which leads to Hawkins' former tag team partner, Zack Ryder, coming down and making the save. The Edgeheads are back. Miss Didi, how you feel about that?
About what?
The Edgeheads being back.
The Edgeheads.
Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
They were called the Edgeheads?
That's how they came in. They were like Edge's fanboys, his stands.
Really?
Yeah, this is some WWE like late 2003, like right before Edge, like 2004, I think, when Edge, like really 2005, when he got his big shot. So yeah, it was like right.
Really?
Yeah, that's when they came in. Look it up.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know anything about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Well, I like them even more now. But yeah.
Dasha interviews Ronda Rousey, who is outraged by the disrespect shown by Sasha Banks. So it's our main event: Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. Natalya tags in. She goes for the sharpshooter, but Bayley breaks it up. Bayley smacks Ronda down off the apron. Sasha comes back. She hits the backstabber into the bank statement, and Natalya taps out. Sasha and Ronda then pull apart with their partners and the referee as the show comes to an end. Now, many of you who I think did not have direct TV would notice that during the match, all of a sudden their feed kind of went out. Like they just went black for a total of maybe like and 11 seconds.
Mm-mm. It was more like 3, 4.
Oh, really? Okay,
It
4.
it wasn't that long. Well, I have Xfinity. I
Okay,
have
so
Comcast. So for me, it wasn't that long. It was just more like, well, why the screen black? And I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, then it kind of came back. And
Mm-hmm.
this was all due to Sasha Banks having a major wardrobe malfunction as she was getting set up for a power bomb, and Natalia basically pulled all her shorts down. All her ass was
Mm-mm-mm.
hanging out.
I mean, it was a good one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guys in the front row definitely have some pictures that they'll, they'll always cherish. She was wearing a thong, so luckily, nothing more than some cheeks were exposed. So, yeah,
Yeah, all her godly goods were covered.
yeah. So, quite the hey, what the heck is going on here? And then the next day you figure out, like, oh, that's what. So it's really good work by the production team of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get fined or kicked off TV. So, what did you think about this episode, go home episode to the Royal Rumble of Monday Night Raw?
I appreciate Sasha being the bad bitch that she is. So I'd certainly enjoy the ending. Um, Bobby and Apollo's Black History Month section was disgusting. And I didn't like any parts of it at all. And I'm always happy to see Braun and Finn. So altogether, I would give it maybe, I don't know, is 3 gummies a bit too much? Like 2.8 gummies out of 5.
Yeah, I was like 2.5. It was okay. It wasn't like, oh, I'm really hyped for this particular thing, other than Ronda and Sasha when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the match. I thought the opening promo Finn did pretty good, stating his case in the opening promo. So I thought that was pretty good, but the rest of it was just kind of ho hum.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know what's never ho hum?
Mm,
SmackDown matters.
facts.
So it's
Big
time
facts.
for the Didi Jonay SmackDown matters report.
All right, people. So they're in Wichita Falls, which I believe is in Kansas.
Yeah,
But,
and it was
you know,
straight up blizzard out there.
was it?
Yeah, they
Yikes.
showed a picture from outside the arena.
Mm.
It's like, man, y'all some dedicated fans to be out there in that to watch
Here's
their.
the thing. I don't know if I'm dedicated, but I feel like if I gave you my money, well, I guess it depends on where the arena is. Because in DC, if I give you my money, I'm gonna stop 3 metro stops away and go to the game. But if I'm in a place where I gotta like drive, I might just have to eat that money because ain't nobody got time to be up in the weather and then you're hot in the thing, but you're cold outside, and that's how you get pneumonia. Things. But anyway, the man, Becky Lynch, starts off SmackDown. She says it's good to be back in town. She loves standing in the ring and fighting, but she has the words. And she says everybody has an opinion on what she should be. She's saying this: the only thing the man should be doing is main eventing WrestleMania and slapping the heads off of everyone in her way to get there. Said journey starts in 5 days. She brings up Asuka, calls her one of the best in the world, but Becky is better. Asuka never beat her for the title, and the fact that this doesn't bother Asuka tells her more than enough. She and the other women have been warming themselves up on the fire that she lit. She, Becky, has dethroned the queen, and she will break the empress. Asuka has heard enough. She's coming out to yell in Japanese at Becky. She continues until Charlotte's music hits. She comes out in her Louis Vuitton belt and her bad bitch, bad girl makeup and talks about winning the Rumble. And when she does, she's got some choices. She says she could face Sasha. She's beaten her so many times she's lost count. She said she beat the holy hell out of Ronda with Ken Doe, the stick. She brings up Asuka and breaking her undefeated streak, and finally Becky, the man. Charlotte calls herself the main event. Asuka attacks Becky because, fight. Fight forever. Charlotte watches on the ramp, happy to help and see. Them going at it. Refs come down to break the fight up. Agents separate Becky, but she rushes Asuka, sends her into the barricade as the refs try to hold her back. Then Becky goes with a knee. She clubs Asuka's back and sends her into the announce table. Becky removes her jacket and whips Asuka with it. Then she climbs the table and flies off for a clothesline. The refs get Becky to walk to the back, and some trainers are helping Asuka. She's pissed and screaming. Um, Back from the break, Becky and Oscar are still going at it in the back. Them girls is fighting. It's amazing.
Becky Lynch looked like your mama when she really need to back in the day really put her hands on you and just grab the first thing she could get her hands on. She was beating her with her jacket. Like, dang, that's old school.
That's real. That's like anything will do. What I got on my jacket, good enough.
Right.
I'm a fan. Anyway, your first match of the night was Mandy Rose versus Naomi. Naomi wants to beat a bitch up. She don't care about this match, not really. She leaves the ring to attack Mandy. Mandy don't roll alone. So when she goes to attack Mandy, she's actually attacking Sonya and Mandy. But she grabs her and tosses her face first into the apron, tosses her into the ring. Naomi does what Naomi does. She looks amazing. She goes for a springboard, but Sonya grabs her foot, and then Mandy grabs Naomi and sends her face first into the corner hard. That is how Mandy is able to win. Jimmy comes to the ring to help Naomi, but Naomi is a black woman. She said, "I'm fine. Don't touch me. I'm fine."
I like that she ain't wait for no damn ring introductions. We ain't out here doing no suplexes and no wrist locks.
Let me tell you something. Naomi said she Coro. She didn't come to wrestle. She came to beat bitches up. You remember
She
when Coro said that to Julie? That's exactly
uh-huh.
what this is.
She was backhand. She was slapping her. She backhanded Mandy Rose.
I would backhand her too. She just looks backhandable.
It was
But
it was glorious.
she gonna do more on WrestleMania. I mean, what's it called?
Royal
SummerSlam.
Rumble. Royal Rumble.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, she
I sure did say SummerSlam. All of them events, boy.
like she said, I didn't get her like I want.
But I'm gonna get her.
Hmm.
I just need Naomi to have a cousin. I don't know. Maybe Cameron need to come back for one night only. Like, get these hands.
Hey now, hey on to something.
Or, they share pay-per-views. So if Nat came up and was like, "What'd you say to my cousin's wife?" That would be funny. Listen, I can go places with this. Okay? Cause listen, we all know that they're related, but we don't talk about it. So boom. Mandy's never gonna be a singles champion, at least not anytime soon. Neither is Sonya, not anytime soon. So essentially, they're tag teams. So through all this drama, Naomi could get her cousins Tamina and Naya to intimidate the girl and be like, "Guess who you're not gonna put your hands on? My cousin. Thank you." And then they beat their asses. Boom, king me. And we can always revisit it when we do our little gauntlet matches for the tag titles. Run me my money.
Well, if this happens to happen down the line, you know where you heard it from, right here, folks, on the WrassleCast.
Run me my coin. It's a good plan. Anyway, there's a promo for Rey Mysterio who talks about his 2006 Royal Rumble presence. Apparently, it was iconic, and I don't remember why, but I'm sure it was.
He was number one, and he won.
He won.
Yeah,
What an
he was
icon!
in there for like over an hour.
I knew it was iconic. He shifts to Andrade. I don't like that name, and tells him that in order to gain respect, he has to earn respect.
Here's
Yes.
here's
Okay.
here's what you need to do. Here's the
Uh.
tactic I take. NXT called him seeing almost. I'm gonna call him seeing almost.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't like Andrade. It ain't as fancy. Seeing Almas. I like it better. Okay, backstage, Miz is hyping himself up. Shane asks, "Is he ready?" They go to the ring. Miz Has a match with Cesaro. That's why they're going to the ring. He gets the upper hand from one corner to the other with a drop kick, and then there's a seated clothesline to Cesaro. There's a 2 count. Ringside, Sheamus just truck Shane. In the ring, Miz rolls up Cesaro. 2 count, but it was a near fall. Cesaro locks Miz up in the ropes and distracts the ref. Then Sheamus kicks Miz in the face. Then there's Cesaro with a neutralizer for the win. After the match, Shane attacks Sheamus. He turns to Cesaro and sends him into the ring post. He removes items from the announce table and lays Cesaro on top, goes to the top rope, and he's about to die, but Sheamus shoves him off. Cesaro grabs Shane and lifts him up. Sheamus hits him with a bro kick, and it was like I seen it in slow mo. He got all that man's cheek. The
Yeah,
Miz,
he did.
it was violent. Shane loves his business. Anyway, Miz rushes over and covers Shane to protect him. Sheamus and Cesaro beat on Miz's back and then grab him and place him on the announce table. And then they grab Shane and powerbomb him onto the Miz through said table. Even though his son almost died 7 seconds ago, Miz is here. I mean, Vince McMahon is here to strut his way down to the ring. Vince says Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are two of the most passionate wrestlers in a long time. They'll go head to head on Sunday, but here tonight they will go face to face. And then first is AJ Styles. Then he introduces Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan don't want to get into the ring. He said he ain't falling for the trap. He's not going to step into the ring with the sociopath. Yes, the man who tossed him into a bunch of processed animal carcasses. He says he's too embarrassed to step into the ring with AJ as he watched AJ encourage these fatties. He had a vision for the future with AJ as champion. That future looks like an ignorant one, an impotent one, an illiterate future. That is what we call alliteration. AJ uses his name to get fame and money. Bryan uses his power for the greater good. AJ questions this and says that Daniel Bryan is talking like a jackass. He said, yeah, you're entertaining, but you never make the crowd think. He never makes them feel guilty about their actions and the effects that they have on everyday life. He said he doesn't care about our feelings. He's not the people's champion. Boom, that's a read. Daniel Bryan says he's the planet's champion, aka Captain Planet. The planet doesn't need AJ Styles. The planet needs him, Daniel Bryan, using his platform to be the planet's voice. And so then AJ says, you know what you are? Fickle. Daniel Bryan said, bitch, I'm not fickle. And then AJ said, no, what it is you're afraid. Not embarrassed, but afraid. He's seen that look in his eyes, and you are afraid about what is going to happen in 5 days and what will happen when AJ takes the one thing Daniel Bryan has left. And when he takes it, Daniel Bryan will have nothing. This has been a very long back and forth. It is going to keep going until Vince McMahon says, I am son. I'm sick and tired of this dumb bullshit. Get your simple ass in the ring. Daniel Bryan says, of course you don't want to hear this, Vince, but you and all your baby boomer friends are the great parasites of the world. Facts are facts, America. He said these people will bow to him, but they don't realize he takes and takes and takes, putting profit over people and the planet every single time. Again, facts are facts. He said it's like he pulled an illusion where he has concealed all of the economical and environmental debt he has created. Vince is hoarding all of the wealth while we ignore it because we are distracted. Vince created an environment for somebody like AJ to become the hero where his ignorance and impotence, and then Vince is like, bitch, get in the ring and stop reading me for filth and for facts.
Yeah, the Dan Brown was out there with a whole bunch of like, talking about. It sounds like he's talking about his politics and his everything. The way he be treating the fuel in the back and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan was just like, you're trash, and let me tell you all the ways in which you are. But it's for the TV show, and it's like I don't know if it is. The best way to act is when you can tell the truth and nobody get mad at you. But AJ said is for face of to face is what Vince want. It don't gotta be in the ring. So AJ leaves the ring and attacks Daniel Bryan. He sends Daniel Bryan into the steps, then into the ring. He looks for the forearm, but Daniel Bryan shoves Vince in front of him. Uh This distracts AJ because AJ has to stop, but it allows Daniel Bryan to hit a running knee to AJ's face. Oh, excuse me. Backstage, Truth and Carmella. Wait, how do we feel about it? It felt long to
It
me.
was real long because Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan gave us that. I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong, but it was a monologue though.
it felt real long. It felt like an hour. Maybe it was like 40 minutes. It felt like what? Okay, Raw. Like what we doing here?
This is a 2 hour show.
Like we don't got time for these shenanigans. Okay. Backstage, Truth and Carmella are talking about being in the Rumble. R-Truth says he can't wait to win the Rumble and face Brian or AJ. Carmella wonders why he won't choose Brock. And he's like, girl, I don't want to go to Sioux Falls City. Carmella's like, you mean Suplex City? He was like, yeah, girl, Sioux Falls City. He says he may go after Buddy Murphy. Listen, I'm not mad at the logic, but Carmella says there's a weight limit. And so R-Truth takes offense because she called him fat. In comes Charlotte. Carmella wonders why she thinks she can just walk into the Rumble and win. She wasn't in last year's Rumble. It's a tornado. She reminds Charlotte that she, Carmella, is number one. She, Carmella, is the gatekeeper in Gucci. Charlotte says she should be confident, but Charlotte is confident too, and the Rumble isn't a tornado. She is. Ooh. That's a word.
That was good. What you think about? Do you like the Charlotte makeup that she had on with the dark lipstick and everything? Did you feel?
Yeah, I love Charlotte's bad bitchery, bad girl makeup. It works for her because as sweet as Ashley is, Charlotte as a character is not sweet, and
Right,
she don't gotta be a heel, but she certainly ain't a face.
right.
She for me, she is at her best when she's on that Kevin Owens. I don't really fucks with y'all, but y'all really fucks with me, and ain't that great?
Right,
Like I like it that way.
right.
Um,
I didn't put this in the notes, but before this match, we have a really great Mustafa Ali like produced promo package
oh
where he
yeah.
talks about the eyes, and he's like on the street of Chicago. And if you watched 205 Live, you know kind of what this is like. But if this is your first time seeing this, I'm pretty sure this got a lot of people's attention. And it was like, damn, Mustafa Ali, I fucks with him.
Yeah, I definitely heard about it. So, maybe they need to put that person on the team. Get the good video promos going. Next is Samoa of the Josephs versus Mustafa Ali. There's a kick to Joe and then a super kick and then another super kick, but Joe is still on his feet. Ali goes off the second rope for a tornado DDT for a near fall. Then he pulls Joe into the corner looking to finish it. But Joe is up, and then he pushes Ali off the corner. And then Joe locks in the coquina clutch, and Ali taps. But Joe keeps the hold on. He won't let go and doesn't let go until Mustafa passes out. Hmm.
It was a good effort. He showed heart and valor.
It made
And
me so sad.
Samoa Joe is a badass. That man is the truth.
Yeah, he is. If only his win loss record could reflect how much of a badass he is on the mic. Like, he could be formidable because he is formidable and he's terrifying and all that. And then when you like check his record, it's like, oh, you're not scary anymore. Like, yeah, you're violent before the match, but should we ever have a match? Odds are you're gonna lose. Backstage, New Day is playing pool. They're watching one of Kofi's cool non-eliminations from past Royal Rumbles. If you'll remember, Kofi was the person who fell out of the ring, but instead of his feet touching, his hands touched, and he managed to climb to the steps and get back into the ring like the icon that he is. That will never leave my mind. New Day were asked if they are willing to eliminate each other. They laugh at this. And then they say, is Tony Chimmel going to ask them next? In comes Tony Chimmel. Uh-huh. Kofi says they are smart. When one wins the Rumble, they all win the Rumble. Personally, I feel like if you're going to turn your back on your friends, you wait until y'all are the last ones around. Because, learn from Sasha. Learn from the Elimination Chamber. Big E says that they're going to dog walk everyone in this Rumble. Words of Cardi. Kofi then says, what if this is the year Kofi can't keep his feet off the ground? His team members hold his head up, and Kofi has an idea, but he won't be sharing it. We will all find out on Sunday. How did we feel?
That's the New Day. It's the best.
It is. They're just so good at this.
And they wove in that dog walk after Cardi lit up Tommy Lauren. It was so great.
It's so funny that she was like, I'll dog walk you. And so many people are like, what does it
What
mean?
does it mean?
What does it mean? It's like, you can't get context clues. like, like, I don't know what it means specifically, but I know it means I'll whoop the fuck out you. Like, it should be obvious what it means, you
Right.
know? Like, unless you want the colloquial origin of the shit, like, well, I will dog walk you. It don't mean we're going on a cute excursion to the park, Angel. It means I'm going to hurt you and show the world I hurt you by walking your ass down the sidewalk with your bloody face. Maybe that was just my interpretation of it. I make me laugh. Okay, your main event of the night. Yeah. Your main event of the night is a 2 out of 3 falls match with Rey Mysterio and Cien Almas. Because fuck calling him Andrade. It may or may not matter in the future, but Zelina Vega is banned from ringside. Ray climbs up the ropes and sits Almas on top. Ray is behind him. Almas gets the fireman carry. Ray fights him down with some elbows, and then Ray locks the head. However, Cien holds on to him. Ray pulls himself up, and then Almas climbs to the top rope, and there is a power bomb from the top rope, and Andrade Cien Almas gets the first fall. When I tell you that fucking power bomb, like I ain't ever seen a power bomb from the third rope.
That
I'm
shit was,
I'm sure it's happened, but I ain't seen it. So it legit took my breath away.
yeah.
I
Like,
was
yeah,
like,
Rey Mysterio's, oh, what the hell is he thinking?
exactly. And then I was like, maybe because you old, you know exactly how to fall to not hurt yourself, but you could not pay me for me to be in your arms. You climb to the third rope where there is no other rope for you to hold on to, no back of the thing for you to lean on. And you have me above your head and you slam me into the ground. No. I can't tell you how much no.
Yeah, because Almas was sitting on the top turnbuckle, and then once he caught Ray, then he stood up, and then he stepped up to the third rope.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
First of all, the conditioning of your body, your balance, your core have to be insane to do that. Ain't no way. Ain't nobody I trust. But we move on. Almas, da 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 da. He goes for a rope assisted sit out powerbomb into a pin for a near fall. Then Cien grabs Ray by the head. Andrade sets up for another powerbomb, but Ray rolls through with another destroyer and Ray gets the win. So now we're tied up. That's it. Ray sets up almost for the 619 to get that third win. He hits the ropes. He does hit the 619. Ray takes time to stand. He calls for it, aka he is essentially distracting himself. And then out of nowhere, Samoa Joseph comes in and grabs Rey Mysterio and powerbombs him on the apron. Joe enters the ring and grabs Cien and sends him crashing into the corner. And then Joe grabs Ray, he locks in the clutch, and then Joe grabs the mic. Joe says he told us that he when he no. Joe says he told us that he came here to make a statement. What you see in this ring is exactly what he will do to the other 29 superstars in the Rumble because his name is Joe and there's an RKO out of nowhere. Who expected it? Not I.
you
And
talking
that
about want to leave a show with heat? Oh man, the whole SmackDown Matters live tweet was like, oh man, that's some bullshit.
let me tell you the funny thing about it. If you're gonna use him, that's actually a clever way to use him. I'm just sick of using him. But like, if you want to be honest, that is the perfect time for an RKO out of nowhere. But like, why can't we just have somebody else do a Stone Cold Stunner? Why I gotta be Randy Orton?
Yeah, he hadn't been on TV in a while too. And they
It was
hadn't
great. Had
been
missed
him
him.
up. Yeah. So
But that's
well
us.
executed.
That's us being team not all lives. But for everybody else, that had to be a great surprise.
Right, right. So your rating for SmackDown this week?
Oh, four.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just needed Naomi to get a little bit more of Mandy Rose, and it probably would have been like a 4.5.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been a 4.5.
Yeah, definitely agree.
But you know what's always a five?
Mm.
Blue Apron
Ah, true.
through CSPN.us. With Blue
Yeah.
Apron, you get fresh ingredients and incredible recipes delivered weekly to your door. You can skip the grocery store, make incredible meals at home, and it's always shipped free right to your front door. So all you have to do is go over to CSPN.us, click on the Keep Our Podcast free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down to Blue Apron, sign up, place your first order, and you'll get $30 off your first Blue Apron order. So, Blue Apron through CSPN.us. Do it today. Final review NXT. Go home before their takeover event Saturday night, 7 p.m. Please use the hashtag CastTakeover to share your commentary with color. The Velveteen Dream comes out to start the show. He says he has something special in his sights and he waits for no man. He has a sparkle of championship gold in his eye, specifically the North American title. He gets interrupted by the theme of the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, baby. He comes out, flanked by Bobby Fish. Cole tells Velveteen Dream to pump the brakes because they will win all the titles at NXT in 2019. They don't like being goalless, and that will change soon, while Velveteen Dream can just dream on. Bobby throws some insults to Velveteen Dream. Dream agrees to fight him, but only if Adam said it was okay. That angers Bobby Fish, who charges in. Dream sends him packing and avoids Adam Cole before escaping. Then we get this awesome special video package that runs to hype Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair. This was really well done. Then they showed a video from last week where Cassius Ono beat Keith Lee and was chased off by Matt Riddle. Then they announced Ono versus Matt Riddle will go down at TakeOver on Saturday. We have our first official match. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, Team 1-2 versus Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel. Burch tries putting Marcel in a submission, but he fights free and breaks up the half crab with the enziguri. Then there's boots all around. Fabian Eichner is the only one left standing. Only lands a series of shots and then European uppercuts before a dive outside takes out Danny Burch and Barthel. Fabian Eichner follows with a massive plancha that takes everyone out. Oney Lorcan avoids a springboard tip, and then he steals the win with the schoolboy. This was a really cool, like indie style tag match. They were just going at it from the beginning. Bunch of high impact moves, fast pace. It was really fun. It's official. Bobby Fish versus Velveteen Dream will be our main event tonight. Then we get a video package that hypes up Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black. We have a match between Amber Nova and Tayana Brooks versus Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Io pops Kairi Sane up so she can do her elbow drop. Kairi then helps Io on an assistant moonsault, and Io Shirai and Kairi Sane get the win.
Hey.
Backstage, Io and Kairi say that nobody can stop them when they're together. Then Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir interrupt. They sarcastically call them adorable, welcome Kairi back, and say they're going to send her back to sea. Bobby Fish with Adam Cole versus the Velveteen Dream. Bobby Fish catches the Velveteen Dream in a knee bar. Dream is in agony as he struggles to fight to the ropes. Adam Cole talks smacks, and then he pulls the rope farther away from the Velveteen Dream's grasp. The referee catches Adam Cole. That opens up the door for the Dream to rally. His leg gives out on a Death Valley Driver attempt. but then he still sends Bobby Fish to the outside into Adam Cole. Bobby Fish rushes in, then he gets hit with the Death Valley Driver. Then Velveteen Dream goes up top. He hits the one-legged Purple Rainmaker, and the Velveteen Dream gets the win. Ricochet makes his way out for his confrontation with Johnny Gargano. He addresses Johnny, saying he talked a lot of crap about being better, only to blindside him with a cheap shot. 2019 Gargano is the same as 2018 Gargano. He showed his true colors. He's a liar and only cares about himself. In 2018, Ricochet showed his true colors and won the North American title. He's something Johnny isn't, a champion. Johnny comes out saying in 2018 he'd have jumped him, but in 2019 Johnny has a plan. As soon as he hits the ring, Johnny attacks. Ricochet catches him with the super kick and knocks him to the outside. Tommaso Ciampa sneaks in and clocks Ricochet from behind. Johnny stares at Tommaso Ciampa as the fans chant DIY and yes, yes, yes. Johnny beats on Ricochet as Ciampa applauds. Aleister Black then hits the ring to attack Ciampa. Johnny sees it and considers helping. It takes a moment, but he does. Johnny takes Black out with the super kick. Ciampa pounds on Black as Ricochet enters and takes a beating from Johnny. They both hit signature moves and walk towards the ramp together. Uneasily, they head up the ramp, not taking their eye off each other, out of mistrust. Ciampa offers a handshake, but Candice LeRae comes out to stop Johnny. She scolds him for considering this and says they're not going through this again. And that's how NXT ended for this week.
She didn't mind her business. If her husband want to get back with his awful best friend, that's what they need to do.
Oh man, just another layer, another chapter to this story that they've been telling for a year now, and more than a year, and it just keeps getting better. Like I almost after this takeover want to see Gargano and Ciampa versus Ricochet and Aleister Black in a tag team match.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what this like really made me want to see now. But this just keeps getting better. This was a really good episode. It's good to see Velveteen Dream on the show. Hadn't seen him in like a month, so just those vignettes, actual wrestle and cut it in the ring promo. So I really enjoyed this episode of NXT. So before we get into the shout outs, Miss DDJ, we'll go over the takeover card.
Mm-hmm.
Again, use the hashtag CastTakeover to share your commentary on Saturday night starting at 7 p.m. And we're also going to have a reaction show for the takeover card as well. So all the Patreon members will be able to hear that on Sunday. So we're going to have Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. That match was made on this past NXT card. Ricochet will face Johnny Gargano for the North American title. The Undisputed Era will face the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Shayna Baszler will face Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship. And Tommaso Ciampa will face Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. So, should be a lot of fun. Should be good. It's going to be interesting, though. This is going to be the first takeover in a while since he's actually been, a part of the show and a mainstay that Velveteen Dream isn't on. So Adam Cole isn't on it either. So those have been two of the, better performers on these shows. So it'll be interesting to see if these other guys can kind of hold their spot. I think a lot of people think that Ricochet Johnny Gargano match is going to be very, very good. Very, very good. So that'll be something to look forward to on Saturday. So please, again, check us out with our live tweet, interact with us, have a lot of fun. Should be interesting card, but takeovers are always, good. So we shouldn't expect anything less. So Miss DDJ, at this time, I open it up to you for your shout outs and thank yous.
Just a couple quick shout outs. Shout out to one of my good friends, Courtney. She been through some things, but she over them things for the most part. And we were able to hang out. I told her I'm gonna get her a Life Alert bracelet to keep her safe. So shout out to her. Shout out to Jade because her birthday was last week or early this week, but we missed her birthday, so I definitely wanted to make sure we said happy birthday to my ladies' night co-host. And, then the usual suspects: Greg, Samuel, the chairman, and Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs.
All right, Miss Didi Jonay, thank you very much. I'd like to give a shout out to you for being my guest and joining me tonight, as always.
Of course.
I'd like to give a shout out to Sam and Greg as well. Give a shout out to the CSPN, everybody here on the network. Please head over to the Patreon page at patreon.com/CSPN Media so you can check out the live reaction shows after NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble. Also, we'd just like to thank everybody, all the podcasters here on the CSPN, everybody who makes up the network and produces the shows that we put out each and every week for everybody's enjoyment. Thank them. That's about it. I don't have anything else, I don't think, this week. So, for my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonay, I'm Don Delarente, and this has been episode 221 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo. All right.
Hey. All right, friend.
All right, friend. Have
All
a
right.
good night. Have a great weekend.
You too.
I will try. Thank you.
You enjoy watching all that Royal Rumble? Cause I ain't.
Yeah. I got to figure out what food I'm gonna eat.
Oh, I have a lot of food.
It's an
I have a lot of
experience.
food. I
Hold on.
made.
Cook, or if I'm gonna get like ribs or something.
Oh, that's nice. I made steak and cheese.
Okay.
So I got that. I had salmon. So I got that. I got salad that goes on the salmon. Then I had extra salmon. So I have all that. I have an Asian salad. I have. I feel like I'm missing things. Yeah, I got a lot of shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like that's gonna be a good choice to make.
I got options. You know what I got to drink? Water.
You're improving.
All I'm on is water. I'm drinking. It's in a can, so it feels fancy, but I'm just drinking.
Are you
Lacroix.
are you noticing any
Oh yeah, I've lost like ten
difference?
pounds. Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah. I need to weigh myself again to make sure all my little alcoholic activities ain't made nothing terrible. But yeah, it's working. I'm telling you, fake ass keto works for me.
There you go. As long
Mm-hmm.
as it's working for you, then you're straight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, friend. I'll talk to you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Be good.
Mm. Maybe. Good night.
Good night.